Hey y'all, long time no see. I apologize for being late with this review. It's your girl G here, and we are going to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta really fast. I wanted to come on camera the other day and do it, but y'all, I'm sorry, I just had to get my hair done, which is why you see it kind of up in these, Cleo braids and my color purple twist. I had to get the roots done, and then I'm gonna get it blow dried and flat ironed, all that good stuff. Hopefully today. So y'all just got to rock with me with the way I'm looking today. But we need to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, okay? The mess it's getting messy, y'all. Ralph and Drew, we don't know who to believe. We don't know who lying. Well, actually, both these niggas lying. They both lying, but it's just hard to pick up when they lying, who lying about this situation, who lying about that situation. It's just a whole lot. So nonetheless, you guys, let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's get into the episode. So we open up actually with Sanya going over to Dr. Jackie. She has Marlo with her. This already has me feeling like I think a lot of people is feeling, which is, girl, Sanya, you might regret having baby number 2. You really might, because you said yourself that Ross wasn't necessarily the most attentive or, let's just say productive and present, when it came to having, the first child. You said it yourself. I think a lot of what had her getting wanting the second baby is, one, Ross wanting it, but two, feeling like she was going to have the sister and the family around to help. And I just think, you always want to think about the good instead of the reality of what the situation is. Your husband is always gone so much that Marlo right now is here in the visitation like she going to prison. Is at the doctor's office, instead of Ross. Like, that says something, child. So nonetheless, Dr. Jackie comes in, lets her know so far that everything's good, but we already know that unfortunately she didn't go full term with this baby. But at the time, she was just going, and she's like, oh my God, Deucey. And Dr. Jackie was like, skirt, do me a favor, stop involving your child so much. Marla was like, thank you. Like, I wasn't trying to say that, but girl, you told him too early. And that's why people say wait till the first trimester before you make any announcements, because that first trimester is like when the baby is developing. It as typically when, you can sort of kind of be more out of the clear, just the baby's developmental process. But at the time, she was okay, but we, later learned, unfortunately, that she didn't carry it all the way through. But nonetheless, that was the doctor's appointment. This next time, I really hope that y'all didn't, tell Deucey until way after, okay? So yeah, moving on. Drew, she at the house, laying in bed. Ralph, old egghead self, he come in. She talking to him like, how you been? How you doing? He's like, how you? She like, tired. He's like, oh, really? She's like, yeah, I came in early in the morning. I had to wake up, take JoJo to school. Like, I'm tired. This acting gig, it's kind of rough. He's sitting there trying to minimize it, talking about, it's only sex scenes. She's like, out of 100 pages, that's all you got with sex scenes? Like, that's just how she's in a narcissistic, abusive relationship. And I think a lot more people are coming to realize that it's a very real thing to be in a narcissistic, abusive relationship, because it's not physical. And a lot of things, when people think of abusive relationships, they think of, physical a lot of the times. But that mental and emotional damage is something different, because it actually, if you're in it long enough, can change the makeup of your brain. Like, it's proven. So, if you're in something for a while, like, it'll start to affect you mentally, for real. Nonetheless, she's in there and she's like, so you moved out the room? He like, yeah. She was like, well, when you coming back? He was like, I don't know, He was like, the only reason I left because, you was doing a movie. You was coming at 3 a.m. and, it will wake me up. And she's like, well, the movie's done now, so when you coming back? And then all of a sudden it's, well, I don't know. So what's your excuse, Ralph? First it was the movie. Then we get to Dr. Kim later on. We'll talk about the therapy appointment. But, it's like, so what's your excuse, Ralph? And that's the thing about people with those narcissistic traits is they just keep talking until you buy whatever they say. They'll just keep talking, which is why you get a lot of where they be saying a whole bunch of nothing. They be saying a whole bunch of words that amount to nothing. Word salad. Marceau, Maurice, I just think about them because they are good at it. And Ralph is too. So she gets upset at him basically because she brings up the Courtney and hold on, y'all. Hold on just a second. So Drew basically brings up the Courtney situation, shows Ralph a clip of, her saying the B word, and he was like, and he really gave her the, and you want me to do, and she was looking at him like, she said it behind our backs. He's like, our? She was like, okay, if I don't rock with somebody, you don't rock with somebody. Like, I'm your wife. And basically, Ralph keeps showing Drew, I don't give a about what you feeling. Like, and I think as what Drew has to stop doing is setting herself up for these little tests. Because I think that's what she does with Ralph. She does these things to really see, is he really still that way? As in this, I don't really think she cares about Courtney calling her a B word. But I think she cares to see if Ralph, one, is going to be protective of her, considerate of her, understanding of her and her feelings. Just to even be something as simple as like, dang, that's messed up what she did. That's the cousin. I'll talk to her. It's not, or just be like, man, I'll talk to Courtney because that wasn't right. Like something. She's looking for opportunities to have Ralph stick up for her in any type of way. And each time he disappoints her. So Drew, you're going to have to stop doing these things because Ralph is only going to continuously show you that he don't really fuck with you like that. For real, for real. We're starting to learn that a lot of these dudes be in relationship with women and they don't even like them. So she starts feeling some type of way, go downstairs, and she sit down. And when I tell you Ralph got down there and Allison cut her eyes at that, she said, and rolled them. I was like, look at my eyes, roll them. It was like, yo. So she was like, you remember that time, he's like, man, babe, what's wrong? She was like, I just can't even do this right now. She looked at Allison, you remember that time that, Courtney said that she didn't call us, and Allison was like, yeah, she said it, Ralph. She told me, oh, I didn't call her nothing. She straight up told me in the face. I asked her, here go Ralph with his BS. Well, you called her a bit, and it was like, what they got to do with anything? Like, that's my sister. So we have the space and capacity to fix that between us. But this so-called cousin, not your cousin, if that really is your cousin, which everybody starting to feel like, ain't really your cousin, that would be like for you to check her. Are we missing something here, Ralph? Like, and so the way Allison was like, it don't even matter if she call her banana. The point is she don't like it. Now all of a sudden it's, I got this, Allison. She like, hey, don't you bring it over here. I was washing dishes. Okay, you brought me into this. Like he did. He told me, oh, you called her a bit, and she was like, look, like, don't you? And that part right there started to make me realize why Ralph wanted Allison out the motherfucking house. Because Allison is with the shits, okay? She is not Drew. She will check Ralph. And he does not like that. You not finna play these mind games over me. I got mind control over Debo. You think you got it with Drew? But I ain't under your little, that's my husband. We can't get divorced. I'm supposed to follow the leader's spell. No, I see you with my good eye, Ralph. And you're trash. So Drew gets up and she cried up, just so embarrassed. And Allison, like, why are you seriously doing this, Ralph? She's stressed, and here you go adding to it and everything. She's about embarrassed. I think that's what Drew suffers from, unfortunately, what a lot of them churchgoers suffer from, which is, it's all about perception, especially like in that church world. Like, perception is everything. Okay, and that's what she's dealing with. Like, you're making me look bad. She's thinking about what the other ladies are gonna say, and it gets her caught up every time because in trying to always look good and have this certain perception, Drew be lying. And the point is, it's hard when you be lying and your lies don't add up, you know? So it's like, that's the unfortunate part with Drew. So we move on. So next we have a couple of quick scenes. Sheree, she gets out of the doctor's office with her daughter. Y'all, is that daughter with Bob, like from Bob? I don't know. Nonetheless, Sheree, was talking to her and was talking about, getting better in life, eating healthier, working out, yada, yada. She's like, yeah, girl, I don't do that stress. She's like, bill collectors call, I don't even answer them. Shoot, when I get it, you get it. Everybody was like, Sheree, did you just confirm what we already thought, which is you ain't got no money? Like, how you afford Chateau Sheree? So is the bill collectors calling for Chateau Sheree? Did you take out a loan to get she by she don't got it? And they asking for their money back? Sheree, girl, we been questioning your income. And now you just sitting there talking about bill collectors calling you. Girl, you need to be down here with us po folk, okay? You trying to keep up appearances and digging yourself in a bigger hole. Girl, you about to end up looking like Kim Zolciak with these credit card companies suing your ass because you ain't got no money. But she was like, girl, I ain't let that stuff stress me out. I ain't getting no wrinkles or nothing. Bill collectors call me. I ain't got it. You get it when I get it. And that really be how I be though. Like, bitch, I can't give you nothing I don't got. So she basically talked to the daughter and was like, so you knew about her? She was like, I mean, yeah, like we at his mom's house, I seen her. And she's like, I thought you knew. She was like, huh? So do you guys think that Sheree knew about the daughter at all? Or was she completely blindsided at, the sip and see? Or did she maybe possibly, hear whispers about Bob and just never like urged herself to get confirmation? But I do find it crazy that none of the siblings told her if that's the case. And if that's not the daughter by Bob, if that's not her like biological daddy, I need to figure out why she's hanging out with him because, girl, he did your mama dirty. I couldn't rock with no dude who did my mama dirty like that. Okay? The way Bob did Sheree. Point blank period. But yeah, moving on. Kenya, she talked to her daddy. Y'all know the story. She wants another baby. Mark with the embryos. Surrogacy. Girl, don't you do that to yourself, Kenya. This man already is dragging you longer than your marriage for a divorce and making it that much harder. Don't you add no more strife and stress into your life trying to get another Mark baby. Baby Brooklyn, she cute. She look just like her damn daddy. Boy, I tell you, that's rough. When you look at your child, see nothing but the man that didn't cause you nothing but hell and chaos. But yeah, nonetheless, the dad was like, he wasn't too sure about that. But Kenya, let that idea go, okay? Let it go. Les Archives. Scotty stops by Les Archives. Marlo basically just talks about how she, renting out clothes to Tammy and a whole bunch of stuff like that. And then they sit down, talk about him going to LA. And then they get the invitation from Kandi. What do you guys think of Scotty for Marlo? Do y'all feel like he's a good match? I mean, they look like they vibing and stuff right now. She like, that's my friend boy. We dating and whatnot, but not ready to meet like the boys yet. Speaking of her nephews. Yeah, keep Scotty away just to be sure. Scotty, to me, I'm sorry, he screams scammer. Like, he might not be one, but he got the look of one. With the gray, peppered in with his beard and the stripes of it. Like, he just gives real. You don't know if you can fully trust him, is all I'm trying to say. So yeah, Les Archive. Then what else happened after that? Let me think. Alright, y'all, I'm back. So Ralph and Drew go to see Dr. Kim because she's like, at this point we fighting for a marriage. We can't get on the right middle grounds. Communication is off. Ralph still ain't moved into the bedroom. Like, something is up because we keep getting here. Well, Drew, y'all keep getting here because that's where Ralph wants y'all to be. He doesn't want y'all to be good. Living in constructed conflict and chaos. Like, he loves the chaos of it all because he doesn't want to interact with you on some real things, okay? So Dr. Kim basically was like, what's going on? And he's, of course, Ralph with his stuff. um, she basically was like, yeah, Dr. Ken, things for us just like seem to be just like in a shaky place. I just want to work on us like obviously being better, with us getting back to a good spot, and us two working. And Dr. Kim was like, well, we have, at least it's good in seeing that both of y'all are here, because Dr. Ken's been working with just Drew. And Ralph was like, well, like we've been working and stuff, like I've been working on me. And Drew was like, oh really, how? When he said that, he was like, oh yeah, for us to both be working, because Dr. Kid was like, y'all now are finally both of you coming to therapy, because Ralph ain't been going because he don't want to go. The narcissists hate therapy, especially with a spouse, somebody that they doing dirty. And let it be a man. Let it be a man. Because the world already tells men already that what they say go, and they the leader and all type of BS. So they already have the empowerment of feeling like what I say go and what I'm doing is right, But he was like, yeah, I'm doing what's best for me. I've been working on me. That's why I moved out the bedroom. She was like, oh really? He's like, yeah, I moved out the bedroom, I'm feeling a lot better about myself, and it's liberating. He kind of smirked when he said that. And Drew was like, oh, really? And so now here he goes, start trying to explain to Dr. Ken how he been working on himself, and how him moving out the bedroom, is good, because Drew was like, well, you said that you were going to move back after the movie, and you still ain't moved back in. And then he come with like 2-3 different excuses. Sorry, y'all, I was getting a call. So yeah, Ralph was giving like 2-3 different excuses. First, that you moved out the room because Drew was coming in late, right? We'll give you that. If that's the case, it was waking you up, sure. But once the movie wraps, your ass should be back in the room. But the fact that you're not, now you're looking for other things to justify it. Then it's like, oh, I moved out for me, because I've been working on myself. I'm finally getting to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I need the space so I can think back and reflect. We go from that to, well, Dr. Ken, look. He trying to talk to Dr. Ken and give Dr. Ken all this BS word salad manipulation. See, Dr. Ken, look. It's a win for both of us. I thought you said this was for you, Ralph. I thought you said this was for you. But now all of a sudden it's a win for both of y'all. Now this is where the narcissists, they always try to convince you what they want for them is really good for you too. That's what they try to convince you of their idea being your idea as well. They want you to go along with it, so they try to convince you like, oh, this is what you're thinking too. So now it's oh, well, it's good for Drew too, because she likes sleeping on 80. I like sleeping like on 68, 72. And she's like, no, I don't like this. Like, and he talking about, oh, it's a win for both of us. Drew's like, no, I feel alone. And so Ralph was like, well, I mean, you got friends. Our friends, they've been married longer than us, and they sleep in separate bedrooms. She's like, but they filed for divorce. And he's like, well, who hasn't filed? And Dr. Ken was just sitting there looking like, you could tell Dr. Ken was looking at Ralph like, this nigga here, this motherfucker here. You could tell, but I could not be a therapist, because I'd be calling bitches out left and right, for real. And then Drew really hit him with the okie doke when she was like, well, JoJo texted me because of you being in the room, saying like, I think Dad's sleeping in the kids' room, and they were upset because he wouldn't let him sleep with him. He's like, She's like, yes, he did. And she shows the text message of JoJo basically being like, Daddy's sleeping down here. And she simply texts back, baby, it's okay. It's just because I was in the movie. And, I was waking up Dad when it came in. Like, once everything's up, we'll be good. Then now you're trying to turn it to, oh, Drew, the way Drew said it, there was no issue until Drew said it the way she said it. But Drew didn't bring it up in the first place. Y'all son did. He brought it up. The concern didn't exist until JoJo brought it up. But you trying to say Drew made it a concern. Like, y'all. Ralph is somebody that you slowly but surely poison. That's the type of nigga that Ralph is. You just slowly but surely put a little bit of dash of this, a little extra special seasoning over time, and you just watch him fade away, because that nigga there, I tell you, good God, Drew, how you been married to him for 9 years? Throw it away. Throw the whole mud stopping head shaped head away. Throw him away. Milk dud head ass nigga. I cannot with Ralph. So we finally get to, you know, the past and the movie or whatever, and everybody's showing up, you know, Drew showing up, everybody's hugging each other, Drew throwing her little shade, talking about, oh, you know, Ralph, he loves to do these appearances, you know, finally he wants to show up and look like a good husband, you know, but I'll see where it goes. Hold on, y'all, I got this damn alarm. She was like, yeah, Ralph was to be a good husband. She's like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, one minute he doesn't want to be supportive, all of a sudden next he's here. And dude, that's one thing about narcissists. They love to keep up the appearances. So Courtney comes in and she tried to get Allison a hug. Allison said, I bet not. I bet not. Allison looked at Courtney like she looked at Ralph like, no, I don't do the fake. So she pulled it to the side, and Allison was like, you looked me in my face and lied. You told me that you didn't call my sister. And Drew came over, and everybody else was watching them argue, and the hands going. Then this is where Courtney let us know this was the dead giveaway from Courtney and Ralph, when she was like, well, Allison, haven't you called her before? Almost like it was just like Ralph might as well have been the one, like, might as well have been standing beside Courtney, because she said it exactly how he said it. Are you niggas pillow talking? It's giving real pillow talk. It's giving real late night calls. It's giving confidant. Because for her to say it just like that, that was Ralph. That was Ralph in Courtney's body. What does that got to do with anything? You said you didn't say it, ho, but you really did, in referencing Drew. And Courtney just said she said it because she was tired of it, and she was just trying to get it past or whatever. But I think she's apologized too, because Allison scared her a little bit. I'd be scared of Allison too, because she was like, she would, okay, if I was Courtney, I'd be scared of Allison too. So basically they put a kibosh to it. Drew and Allison was like, now we see you, we see each other. You can't be trusted. You really, you a hunching cousin, and that's gonna be what it is. So Drew's like, you know, they do the trailer or whatever. It looked good. I gotta watch it still. Everybody's super excited. They hand clap. It looked like it was good. From what I'm hearing everybody say so far, like, they're giving it like, okay, you know, it's a little something, you know, it was alright, you know, way better than we thought. Especially for it to be on Peacock, because everybody thought this was going straight to be movie, okay? We really, really did. But yeah, no, they on Peacock, y'all. So Drew gets up, ready to go change, because Kandi, being the sorry, I was listening to something. Being the gracious person that she is, she also gave Drew the opportunity to perform her single. And so Drew, y'all, Drew, she came right before she went and gave Ty a hug. And then it was a side hug. But it was a side hug that was given, let's not make it seem like something and it ain't something when we're going to show that it's nothing, but it's really something. That side hug was given, let's not try to give it too much, you know? I mean, in regards to the allegations about Ty, I believe it. I do. Do I care? No. Just like in the situation with Martell, Melody, you would say, oh, Melody cheated. No, she didn't. But if she did, and what? She got her lick back. You niggas be doing it all the damn time. And then by the time the woman finally do it and get her lick back, now all of a sudden y'all chest hurt. So now Drew got her lick back with Ralph. I'm sorry. I do not care. But the only problem is, Drew, if you're going to do it, be good at it. Like, girl, at least be good at it. But all that means you're not a good cheater. That's all that mean. But yeah, they hugged each other. She go on stage. Yo, I actually really liked the song. I did not like the dress that she performed on stage with. But yeah, I actually genuinely liked the song. Everybody was like loving it, performing, like dancing and singing with her. it was a good time. So it wraps up, and then we see the doom doom doom. Drew and Ralph filed for divorce. It's over. It goes viral, and it's like in March now. And they pulled, of course, Drew and Ralph in to talk about it. Drew, are you finally ready to talk about it? And she basically was kind of like, oh, that was also Kenya, gave her a nice condolences, not condolences, but just like comforting call, saying that she was there, she'd been through it. Sheree as well. But then we found out Sheree's dad passed away, RIP to Sheree's father. That was very unfortunate and sad, but, she tried to give Drew a little bit of support, a little something, something. Um, so Drew sits down in the chair. She started crying, tearing up. Basically, was just like, oh, the last time I was here, I was with Ralph. And basically, she just kind of said, producer was like, so are you ready to finally talk about it? And she basically was like, I, as a woman, allowed some things in our relationship that no woman should. She's like, I allowed extramarital affairs. I allowed Tampa. Because we still don't know where you was at in Tampa for 3 days, Ralph. We don't know. She said, I allowed Tampa. It was a lot of things that, I just could no longer tolerate. So then Ralph come in, and he, his smirk and just his pointy ass cone head, he starts, getting asked questions, and he waits, let me call my lawyer. And basically the lawyer's like, you can't say nothing, like, we in the middle of like a situation. And so producers ask about like the affair allegations, and he was like, we'll address that in court. As in, yeah, I did it, but I can't tell you. I think that the whole Ty situation, Drew did. She just wasn't good at hiding it, girl. That's why they call 2 phones. Okay, Kevin Gates style, but get you a trap phone. So literally in the midst of the interview, Drew's get like blew up, and she's like, wait a minute. And she's like, what's happening? And that's when she's literally in the middle of the chair, and it's going viral. Like, as they were like, wait a minute, like, who's Ty? Where'd you meet her? Kind of find out she was friends with the girl that was on her acting, gig. Y'all was girl who bought the friend, because I haven't seen the movie. She was like, oh, that was my co-star's, friend. So is it possible that the friend was using Ty like as like a method acting situation? Like, is it possible? I kind of feel like maybe that's what happened, because she met her on the set of Candy's movie, and the co-star was her friend. So I'm thinking maybe the friend had Ty kind of like as like a to shadow. That's what I'm thinking of, like to shadow. I play lesbian. Let me shadow a lesbian. First of all, Ty's one of those lesbians that like turning women out. She like getting the straight women's and turning them gay. Is what I'm trying to say. Ty, she handsome. She real handsome, pretty. I would prefer Ty over Ralph any fucking day, and I ain't even into women, okay? So yeah, they basically asked her about Ty. She was like, oh, she's a WNBA player. And she kind of was like not really giving the deets. And so Ralph was like, oh, they're just friends, and that's all I can say. So here what they call in Courtney, because Courtney, y'all know, gonna tell it, run and tell it. So she started going, oh, well, I talked to Ralph, and he's like, oh, Drew, she's a good time. She likes, being with girls. It's nothing new. He knew about that. And it's like, oh, well, she's visiting her in Texas. And then they like kind of turn the camera, and she's like, oh my God, it's a good thing, like she thought she was off the hook. But then again, I think Courtney also kind of knows that she wasn't off the hook. Like they might have put the camera down, but she knows that sometimes they're always still recording. And a part of Courtney, I think, in being good friends with Ralph, she was going to be the one to drop it, which was, she basically was like, oh, maybe that's why she was pushing for him to adopt JoJo, so she can't be having him pay for the children while she's off with her lesbian lovership. And it was like, girl, not you bringing up the child in adoption. For real, for real. First of all, Ralph, get me in that whole adoption situation, because you really didn't want to adopt that baby. Shut up, Ralph. You really didn't want to adopt that baby, because we saw that when he was on. Now you want to write. You wrote a book about being a step parent, but you don't want to adopt your kid. She's like, y'all shouldn't leave me with vodka this long. Girl, Courtney, if you don't shut this up before we get to talking shit about you. Shut your chest up before we get to talking about you. Okay, Courtney? So yeah, Courtney said, I'ma leave it, I'ma run, I'ma leave it all on the table. So she was like, yeah, she went and she's a good time with girls. And I think, is it possible that y'all think Drew might have did what some women do, which is I'll be with this woman for my husband in a threesome situation? Because Courtney said that, oh, Ralph knows Drew's a good time and likes messing with women or whatever. Is it possible that they did that together and Drew did that for him? Is it possible? Y'all drop it in the comments. Y'all think that's something that Drew would do? You know, bring a woman into the bedroom for her husband, because y'all know you know what the ladies be doing for their man. My man, my man, my man. But your man left you for dead, ho. Like, Ralph is leaving Drew for dead. And so now Ralph is like, oh my God. Not Ralph. Drew was like, oh my God, like this is a new low. And they're like, well, who is Todd? Like, and she was like trying to brush it off. And then they start asking her questions about the marriage, and basically was trying to act like she was tearing up, but she didn't want to talk about it because legally they're in the middle of the situation. So anything you say and can will be held against you in court, or used against you in court. Basically, what was going on, it seemed like. Marla said they did a Mario Kart race into the courthouse, but Drew must have put a banana peel out on Ralph. I can't. They was racing to the courthouse. Okay. What else happened? And I feel like that's it. Oh, y'all, sorry, Sanya. She talks about losing the baby. Super unfortunate. They were gonna do a DNC, but she had to go like to New York or something like that. And she was gonna do it when she got back, but she ended up not making it back. She ended up having like, you know, a heaven baby. She was super sad. Ducey was sad over it. They were gonna keep it to him at first, but she couldn't. But yeah, no, like Allison, I love Allison. Shoot, I would love to see her on another season, because she would, like I said. And no, Drew basically was like, I can't believe this is the new low. And they're like, well, who is Todd? Now they talking about her. She's like, oh, well, she's just a friend. And, you know, I actually met her on, you know, the set of Candies. And so she thought about the irony of her going against the fact that she had this lesbian kiss with, what's her name, Toya. And now you done became a lesbian on Candy's movie set and got with the lesbian. Like, ain't that the irony in that? But yeah, I think that's it. Ralph talking about he don't want to say nothing. Drew, she ain't say nothing because they fighting about it in court, and we're gonna see the reunion where both of them are there. But yeah, you guys, we're Housewives of Atlanta. That had been the season. I'm so ready for the season to be over. Who do you guys think should be, you know, being worried about their spot on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Do you guys feel like production, it's time for production to go? Do you guys feel like Dr. Ken sees Ralph? That's what I wonder. Sorry, I was looking at something. But yeah, y'all, we're Housewives of Atlanta. Tell me what you feel about the season. How you feel about the reunion. How you guys feel about Ralph and Drew. Who's your favorite housewife? And what do you guys feel about the alleged reboot coming up? I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm going to catch you later.